Hello, my Aloha tribe, and welcome to the Aloha Perspective, where we get a little bit of something, and today, a whole lot of earful. That's right, not a bad earful. I'm here to talk about how early detection can save lives. That's right, early detection can save lives. Whether it's a mammogram, a pap smear, um, for the boys, get your fellas checked, okay? Because there's those kind of cancers, prostate, testicular, all these different things, But for everybody in general, one of the main things that we're supposed to start doing when we turn 50 years old is to get a colonoscopy. All my Gen Xers out there, if you were born in the 70s, this is your decade when you're going to need to start. All right, this is your decade when you're going to need to start. So I'm here to end the stigma of it. Um, First and foremost, this is my third one. So I had to start at 40 because of my father. He was diagnosed with colon cancer, he had colon cancer. He was diagnosed before he turned 65. So because of that, because of the age, when I checked in with my doctor when I turned 40, and because of a family history on my mom's side where we lost two cousins, both siblings, very, very sad. Okay. This is why this is important. He suggested I start it at 40. He said, I'm glad you came to me because, yeah, we need to start you now. So this is my third one. I know. And I feel like this time I'm a pro, right? The first one, I went in guns blazing a little too hard, and boy, it upended me. It upended me. It was hard because, starting 5 days before, you can't have beans, you can't have any fruits with skins. You can't have seeds. You can't have any fruits with seeds. You can't have any grains. You can't have anything that's blue, red, or purple. They suggest that you start, removing the dairy from your diet because, dairy can be thick and can coat your stomach and make it a little bit harder to see things in there. So that's 5 days before. All right. And it's hard. You never think about the things that you eat, right? Friday, I was craving a hot dog. Never noticed in my life that the place where I go to get hot dogs for sibling and I had sesame seeds on their buns. Not everybody does. Hockey games, they were plain buns, all right? Baseball games, if I remember correctly, plain buns. But I noticed this time, I'm like, uh-oh. So sibling was nice enough to take the bottom half of her bun. So she had two tops and I had two bottoms. Ooh, I guess that worked out, right? It was a little foreshadowing. But yesterday I decided, hey, I'm kind of craving some Texas toast. They have sesame seeds on them too. So you never notice this shit until, well, pun intended again, I guess, until it becomes something that you have to pay attention to. So by my second one, I was just kind of like, I was stressing more over the fact that I missed a year and that how it kind of threw me off being on my every 5 year cycle uneven years of my life. So I think that was more of a thing for me. I know my brain works in a whole extremely strange way, but yeah, it bothered me and it still does. That is going to fucking haunt me for the rest of my life, that I am 1 year off, and in a funny way. But the nice thing is it also makes me remember, and so I was very, very determined to get my colonoscopy done. Now, normally I have them done in the early half of the year. And I guess we're still in the early half of the year, but tomorrow we start the second half of the year. But usually I have them done around February or so I don't forget. I always try to schedule them around my birthday in January, which ends up being in February. So I'm a little late this time, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what time of the year you have it, as long as it's every 5 years. So again, stressing this, cannot stress this more. All my Gen Xers who were born in the 70s, this is the decade. Okay, this is the decade. Don't freak out. Don't be afraid. You know what? Come on. We're Gen X, right? This should be one of those things we go into, going, oh, yeah, well, I survived all this crap when I was a kid, so I can survive this too. But no, we sit there and go, I don't want to do it. It's too hard. I don't want to have to live in my bathroom. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. Don't whine. All right. And trust me, when I first had my first one done, that's all I did was whine and complain, and just be like, oh, this sucks. This is so horrible. I can't handle this. I'm so lame. Don't do it. It doesn't help, and it doesn't make it any easier. But here's my pro tip. All right. If you have a big bathroom and you have to start the procedure, or your prep. Okay, your actual prep, live in there. All right, live in there. If you don't have a big bathroom, live near it, because once you start drinking that stuff, it goes through you. So for all of you who are like, "Oh, I need to lose a couple pounds or blah blah blah," this is your chance. This is your chance. It is going to clean your colon out. It is like having the 5 year, spring cleaning of your colon. And I can't stress more how important it is. Colon cancers are one of the cancers that are treatable and very survivable. All right, but as I mentioned, I have lost two family members to this disease and or to this cancer. So, but I also have a neighbor, a friend of mine, who has survived, I believe, twice now. She's going strong. She's doing great. My father's a survivor. They caught it before it left his colon. So they removed 2 or 3 feet of it, but the surgery itself was no easy feat, okay? Because in order to eat or drink anything, he had to pass that gas. And of course, your body will happily embarrass you in front of people anytime it wants to. But when you're supposed to pass the gas, it sits there and gives you the middle finger and says, no. So, all he could have was some sponge to wet his lips. And so he was pretty miserable. So, if we can get that early detection and you can get stuff taken care of ASAP, that is your best route. All right. I am grateful that my father did not have to have any kind of treatment. Um, he gets a little shy about saying that he's a cancer survivor, but he is. All right. It was in his body. He really early detected it. The doctors found an anomaly during his physical. They told him, "Hey, you come in. We want to check something." They got it all taken care of. He never had to have chemo. He never had to have radiation. He just had to have that surgery to get the cancerous portion of his colon removed. And so, that's a big thing. It was this close, guys. The doctor said it was literally, if my dad would have waited one more month, it would have broken through the wall of his colon and gone into his bloodstream, in which case he would have had to have all those treatments. So, they caught it very, very early. So that's why early detection is so important. The prep may seem scary. Today, I can only have clear foods. I can have broth. I can have green jello. You can have orange jello. Not my favorite. I like the green jello. You can have green jello. You can have no dairy, no solids, no fruits, or obviously, if you can't have solids, you can't have fruits. No smoothies, okay, because you cannot have dairy of any sort. Any sort. It doesn't matter if it's almond milk or oat milk, anything thick you cannot have. You have to be able to see through. You have to be able to see through whatever it is you were eating or drinking. So, hey, if you like top ramen, save the noodles for later, make a nice yakisoba with it, and use the broth packets, right? I'm going to have chicken soup today without the noodles. I know. There goes the kid in me. But, my prep starts at 6 because my appointment's tomorrow morning. And I'm actually looking forward to it because the older I get, the more I am faced with my mortality and the more I want to live. So I'm very grateful. I had my cardiologist appointment not too long ago. All is great. Baby sibling, when I posted about having my colonoscopy done, she told me, "Great, because you need to live forever." I'm not so sure I want to live forever, but I do want to live a long time. So I want to live a long, long time. I want to see all my nieces and nephews grow up, all these wonderful things. So, in order to do that, guys, we have to take care of ourselves. So any kind of early detection saves lives. Like I said, for all the boys out there, get your stuff checked. All the girls out there, get your stuff checked. Gentlemen, if you have a little bit of girth on you, you are susceptible to breast cancer as well. So that's not just always a lady thing. So if you feel anything is off, if you don't feel right about something, get checked. Please get checked. It's better to come away knowing there is nothing wrong with you than to ignore it and have to deal with it later or suffer through it. My poor mom was misdiagnosed several times and she ended up with pancreatic cancer, and within 4 months she was gone. So early detection saves lives, guys. All right. Get yourselves checked. Colon cancer is one of the most preventable. Colonoscopies goes by like a breeze. I'm looking forward to it. I'm ending the stigma. I'll talk more about this later when I start my prep. And I'll probably be bitching and moaning then. But you know what? It's going to save my life. Have a great day.